G'day folks, it's Cortezerino. Today I'm going to show you how to build my super easy daylight sensor blaze farm. So I say this design is super easy because there is very little to it at all. It's almost as small as the designs that use the Blazer's AI to walk toward a certain block, but this one has the added benefit of not having to clear out a ton of netherrack around the farm. So all there is to this is the spawning chamber for our blaze, and the floor is 6 blocks below the spawner. So any blaze hanging around down on the bottom here don't cause the spawner to stop spawning. It's not spawning now because it's daytime and there's too much light. And then we just use a slime block sweeper to grab all the blaze and bring them out to the front. Now that's nothing new, you might have seen that in other designs, but we save a lot of space here because we use the sweeper as the crusher for the blaze. So it's the sweeper that gets them down to a point in health where we can kill them with one hit. And that's where our daylight sensors come in handy. So once you've AFK'd for a little while, and you got a bunch of blaze hanging on the floor here, you can push the button that starts the slime block sweeper and it'll fly along the bottom here, pushing blaze in front of it. And when it gets to the end, it'll give the blaze one whack and then it'll come back in this direction, pushing the blaze in front of it. Then we get to the daylight sensors and the blaze will pop straight over the top of them. They're low enough for that, and they do not stick to the slime blocks, which makes them very nice. That's why we're using them here rather than half slabs. And once the blaze are on top of the trapdoors, the slime block sweeper will come in and start to crush them. And the daylight sensors just encourage the blaze not to pop back out in this direction. It will happen every now and then. You'll get one blaze pop out, or he might even suffocate to death in there, but it doesn't happen often enough to really worry about. So then after a certain amount of time, the trapdoors will release and all our blaze will drop down into our killing chamber. So we can see our sweeper going across, and then the blaze will shoot back in this direction, and there they go, getting crushed. So we've just got a comparator pulse extender there, and once it fades out, they will drop down here. Now they're not on a one-hit kill with a punch, but since Sweeping Edge, I don't know anyone who's sitting at their blaze farm punching blaze. So here I've got a diamond sword with Sweeping Edge 3, and that is enough to kill any blaze you get down here. So to begin, you want to shut off your spawner because that is a little bit hard to build while you got blaze flying around everywhere. So begin by putting a piece of glass on top. That way you'll be able to remember exactly where the spawner is. And we'll do a piece of dirt on the bottom. Now I want you to build out 4 more dirt on each side like so. And once you've got your little cross, just go ahead and fill in all the dirt through here. And once you've done that, just bring all of this up by another 2 dirt blocks. So now our spawner is successfully shut down. We're going to build the big spawning room for our blaze, and I'm going to build this mostly out of glass, but you can use whatever you like. So on top of that glass block, we're going to place 2 more, and then level with that top one, we're going to build glass all the way around here in a ceiling directly above our dirt blocks. Now using a block of choice, just build a border all the way around this glass. Now underneath each corner, I want you to build a line of blocks 10 blocks down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to link all of these up. So now pick which side is going to be the front of your farm. Mine's going to be this side. And put a line of daylight sensors all the way along there. Then you can grab some more glass. This does have to be glass because we don't want mobs spawning here. And I want you to fill in the entire floor. So next we're going to put in some blocks that our slime blocks are not going to stick to. And I'm going to use melons because they're nice and cheap, but you could use furnaces, obsidian, glazed terracotta, stuff like that. So looking from the front here where our daylight sensors are, we're going to knock out that block, replace it with a melon, put one in front, and then put a line of melons all the way down to here. When we get to this corner, you can knock that out just for looks. It's not actually going to touch a slime block. And then we're going to keep going all the way down to here and then knock that one out. But we're not going to place a melon in that gap. We're going to place one right there and one right there. And then we're going to continue this line all the way along here, knocking out that one and one more, and the same here. This one all the way along here, knock out that, put one there and one there. So now we're ready to put in all of our glass walls. So we won't worry about the front just yet. So come around to this side and we're going to put glass all the way along the bottom here. And we're going to fill in this entire gap as well. So now you've got that wall done, swing around to the back and do exactly the same thing here. Then on the last side where we've got our double layer of melons, we're not going to put any glass in there. Instead, we're going to put it from the top layer of melons all the way up. Alrighty, now we're going to build our slime block sweeper, and that's going to be in the form of a flying machine. So come along here, want to place temporary block there, another one there, then a redstone lamp on the end, and you can break all of those three. Then looking at the redstone lamp from this direction, we're going to place an observer block with a slime block behind it, then grab a sticky piston, and looking in this direction, we're going to place it right there. Then we're going to swing around, facing in this direction, we're going to place a sticky piston right there, and we're not going to place our slime block just yet, we're going to place a temporary block right there, then looking from this direction, observer block, because when we place it, it's going to shoot off a bit of power. You can break that temporary block, place a slime block there, and that's our flying machine done, but don't test it just yet, otherwise it will fly off into the distance. We need to rig up a couple of other things first. So come along to the end here, and I want you to place a temp block right there, and then grab your observer and face it at that block, then break that, and behind this observer block, I want you to place an immovable block. Now a melon won't work here because you can actually break a melon with pistons and flying machines, so it's fine. The slime blocks won't stick to it, but it can be broken if that flying machine runs straight into it. So I'm going to use obsidian right behind that observer block. Then I want you to come underneath, temp block underneath the obsidian, one there, break that temporary block. Then place a repeater in that direction and put that onto a 4-tick delay, and that will send the flying machine back in this direction. So underneath this slime block right here, I want you to place a redstone block right there and another obsidian block right there to stop the flying machine. But before we test it, one last thing, we want to put some more slime blocks in here. So come along to the side where the daylight sensors are, and we're going to build a line of slime blocks all the way along until we reach that melon. And now we're ready for testing. So grab yourself a button. I've got one here. Just pop it onto the side of that redstone lamp. Give it a push and make sure everything's working just fine. So as the blaze are getting crushed, they're going to be standing on trapdoors, and those trapdoors need to release after a little bit of time and drop them into our killing chamber. So we're going to build that next. So come underneath our daylight sensors. I want you to build down 3 blocks, then break those 2, and we're going to do a line of 9 blocks directly below our daylight sensors. On top of those 9 blocks, we're going to place 9 pieces of powered rail, and you can go ahead and build out a bit of a floor toward the front here. Just build that out another 5 blocks. Okay, our floor and our rails are in place. I want you to swing around to where we've got our redstone block on the flying machine. And I want you to place a temporary block underneath and then a magma block underneath that, and we'll break that. We're using a magma block here because we're using redstone torches, and to prevent lighting updates, if you use a magma block, it's going to absorb the light from the torch. So when the torch flicks on and off, we're not going to get any lighting updates that cause lag. So we're going to place a torch on the side right there and a piece of redstone dust on top of that block. Then I want you to come underneath. We're going to place one block there and a temporary block there, block underneath, delete that, and a piece of dust on that block there. Then come around to this side. We're going to place 1, 2, 3 more blocks and 3 beside that with 2 comparators facing into that block, 2 dust right here, then swing around to this side and 2 comparators facing in that direction. And this piece of dust on this block will power our rails. And believe it or not, we are nearly done with the redstone. We just need to place some observer blocks. So come above the rails and looking down at them, we're going to place observer blocks all the way along here, and they will power the block directly underneath these daylight sensors when the rail powers on and off. So then grab your trapdoors, and at the very top of this block right here, we're going to place a line of trapdoors against the blocks all the way along, 9 in total. Next, we're going to build the collection system for our blaze rods, and this is pretty basic. We're going to come underneath this redstone lamp, place a temporary block right there, a chest on top, another one beside that, then break that block. Now we're going to place 2 hoppers into the side of that chest, and then a line of them all the way along here beside that powered rail. And on top of those hoppers, we're going to place trapdoors all the way along here, and that will stop the XP getting stuck inside of the hopper. Now in front of those hoppers, we're going to build a line of blocks all the way along. So now we have to build the little holding cell for our blaze while they're getting crushed so they don't burst out in our faces. So we're going to need some immovable blocks all the way along here. Now I like to use furnaces right against all of these slime blocks. And that way, if we want to do some smelting with all our blaze rods while we're waiting for more blaze to spawn, we can do that. So I want you to grab some glass, and we're going to build down 2 more glass underneath each of these furnaces. I'm using a different color here just for no reason at all, just because I want to. And then we're also going to use another layer of glass on top of these furnaces. Now, on top of these slime blocks, we need to leave an air block here for the blaze to be able to get into, or get over the top of those daylight sensors properly. So on top of this melon, place another block, and I'd like to put a line of slabs all the way along here, right over to the other melon, and then we can grab our glass again, and starting from this block here, right next to the slabs, put a line of glass, and then build that all the way up. And the very last thing to do is just on the sides of the crushing chamber and the killing chamber, we just need to put some blocks so the blaze can't escape. You can do that however you like. Just build up a bit of a wall there, and we'll do the same on this side. 2 blocks on top of those hoppers and up like that. And if you like to, you can put a block underneath that redstone lamp and move the button down 1 more, just so it's a bit easier to reach. But that is it, guys. So that is the tutorial, 100% complete, guys. It's a really simple design to build, but I haven't removed the dirt yet because I wanted to show you a couple of optional extras. The first one is, what if you want to be able to turn the blaze spawning on and off? So if you want a button that will turn the spawning on and off, then first thing you want to do is come in here and take some fire resistance potion before you do this, because the blaze will start to spawn. Just remove the bottom layer of dirt. So the bottom layer is removed. You can see our spawner up there. What you want to do is place a line of signs all the way along one wall. And then once you've done that, you want to just keep on adding signs on top of these. And holding shift, that's what I was doing wrong. Holding shift, just keep adding signs, and you've got to do this under every single piece of dirt. So once you got all your signs in, come up above and finding the center, I want you to break these 3 pieces of glass and place blocks there. Then break those 2, make a T shape, and then we're going to break the glass in this shape, leaving a 3x3 glass in the center, and just fill those in with solid blocks. Now these ones in the corners, you want to break them And we need to put dispensers inside of them facing straight up. So what you can do is just break the bit of glass next to it, drop in here, break a dirt block, place your dispenser and get out of the hole and put a piece of glass and do that in each corner. And once that's done, you can put a lava bucket inside of each of these dispensers. So now come back to the front, and just like here where we've got our redstone lamp and button, we're going to do the exact same thing on this side. And behind that block with the button on it, we're going to build a line of 3 blocks with redstone dust leading into a magma block, because we're using redstone torches again, and we're using magma blocks so the torches don't cause lighting updates. So we're going to do 3 more of these, the block with the torch on top. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then the last one we're just going to put the magma block, and then we're going to run a line of 15 dust starting on top of the magma block. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then same thing here, the dust will reach to there, and that will power all of our dispensers. And if you're worried about having ugly redstone dust on top of your blaze farm, just rather than use quartz like I'm using here, just use red nether brick, and you're not even going to see the dust. Then once you've cleared out all your dirt, you can just push the button and give your lava a test. And the second optional extra for this farm is to put the sweeper on a hopper timer, because if you're going to be AFKing for more than, I'd say, 10 minutes, it's probably a good idea, because if you get tons and tons of blaze down the bottom here, when the sweeper comes through and then pushes them over the daylight sensors into the crushing chamber, the more blaze you have in there, the more chance there is of one being able to pop out the back or even crush to death, getting stuck between the slime block and the daylight sensor. So it's a good idea just to keep sweeping them intermittently while you're AFKing for 20 or 30 minutes. And it's not hard to do. So come along to this redstone lamp where our sweeper controls are, and I want you to put a block right there with a repeater leading into that lamp on a 4 tick delay. Then come up above, and on the side of that block we're going to place an observer block looking down like that, but we're not going to put a block on top of that just yet in case we accidentally trigger it. Now underneath this observer block, I want you to place a temporary block, another one there, delete that one with a comparator leading in that direction. In front of this comparator we're going to place a block, then a temporary block there, delete that one. This is the hopper clock, by the way, so we'll grab ourselves some hoppers, we'll put a temporary one into the back of that comparator. So hopper leading into that one, delete that, hopper leading into that one. Then place a temporary block underneath that hopper, block there, delete that, and a comparator facing away from that hopper. That comparator is going to lead into a block, then put a block there, delete that one, and grab yourself some redstone dust and place it there and there. Then want to grab sticky pistons. Both of these are going to be sticky pistons. Have one right against the edge of that redstone dust and another one right there, and a redstone block against either of these. So to activate our hopper timer, to tell the machine that we're going AFK for more than 10 minutes and we want the sweeper to sweep every now and then, we're going to place a redstone lamp next to that one there, block underneath, with a lever underneath that. Now on the back of the block where the lever is, I want you to place a redstone torch and then 2 dust on top of these hoppers. So when you flick the lever, the dust will turn off and the items will start moving between the hoppers. So to begin, I guess 4 stacks in the hopper timer, 4 stacks of any item will be a good amount of time for the sweeper to go back and forth. So that's all done. We can finally put our block on top of this observer block, and that is now ready to go. So every time the hopper timer goes through a full cycle, the observer is going to pick up that comparator there, flashes off for a sec, and that is going to send our flying machine on its way. So that's it, guys. A super easy and pretty compact blaze farm We've got the super simple version on this side and the exact same thing with just a few added extras on this side. I'll include a world download in the description so you can come on here and check it out for yourself. So cheers guys, I'm Cortezerino. See you later.